guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. First of all, this video is coming out after my t-shirt collection, and if you can see part of my shirt, I was a liar. I missed one. I missed this one, which has Mickey on it. So, big ol' liar, and I'm just making a post-edit that I have this shirt as well. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about how to avoid crowds at Disney World, and that might sound like the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard because it's impossible to avoid crowds at Disney World. And for the most part, it kind of is. You just have to be realistic that Disney World is one of the most visited theme parks, amusement parks in the world. In fact, I'm almost positive that the Magic Kingdom is #1. That list changes every year. They look at like traffic and attendance through parks through all over the world, but their parks are always in the top 10. They are crazy busy all of the time, and as we've seen in 2018, a lot of people have been discussing that like this has been an incredibly busy year specifically. So you might be thinking, what can I do to at least minimize my interaction with a ton of crowds? And I have a few tips that, while they aren't 100% perfect and they will not guarantee that you're gonna have short waits all the time, can definitely help. So #1, I would say, is rope drop. Rope drop, rope drop, rope drop. Waking up early sucks. I am not a morning person. Most people are not morning people. If you are, kudos to you. I think you're lying. But if you are, cool, but I think most people don't want to wake up early, especially on vacation. But you are going to take advantage of the fact that most other people don't want to wake up early for their vacations because you're going to go do it and you're going to go to the park of choice and you're going to get on so many more rides. If you wake up early enough to get there for opening or before opening and line up ahead of time, you're gonna do so much more in the first couple of hours of your day than you would if you slept in a bit and showed up at 11. It will be worth it. So I say definitely rope drop if you can get yourself up to do it, because you are gonna hit so many more rides and have so much less of a wait as people are slowly trickling in. I guarantee you your day is gonna go a lot smoother if you do this. Similarly, my #2 is to do things at off times that most people do. So most people aren't waking up early, so you're gonna go do rope drop. But in the same thought process, you should get lunch at times when people don't get lunch. So maybe that's a little early at 11 o'clock or a little later at 1:30, 2 p.m. You're gonna find that the lines for these things, for the quick service, for restaurants, are going to be less intense, especially for quick service. You might be more likely to find a restaurant table at an off time, especially if you're booking it last minute, which I don't advise you do. There's a reason why Disney has advanced dining reservations. Do take advantage of them, but if you haven't, or if you've changed your mind last minute, you're more likely to find something open up at a weird odd time, maybe like 2:35 or something like that for lunch, as opposed to 12 o'clock on the dot where everyone thinks it's the afternoon and I have to eat lunch. Likewise, the same for dinner. You should eat a little earlier, a little later if you can, to try to snatch up something then. And in general, you're just not gonna deal with as many people in those restaurants. #3, and this is debatable for some people, but I would say do not go to extra magic hour parks if you want to avoid crowds. Maybe if it's a morning extra magic hour, because if we go back to 1, a lot of people don't want to wake up for that, even the people staying on property who can take advantage of extra magic hours. So you might want to start your day at an extra magic hour park in the morning, take advantage of that extra hour in the morning, do your thing, ride your rides, and then leave by the time people are coming in and go to a different park. I especially find that the parks with the extra magic evening hours are most crowded because more people can handle staying up late than they can waking up early. So if you really want to avoid crowds as much as possible, and don't mind basically sacrificing that extra time that you would have gotten if you went there, which if it's crowded enough might not really matter, then go to the parks that do not have extra magic hours on a specific day, because generally most of the crowds are going to want to go for the ones with the longer hours. That's just naturally how it goes. Tip #4 is to really maximize your use of fast passes. So have that plan of action ahead of time, know how you're gonna hit all your rides, make sure you're getting fast passes for the biggest rides if you can get them. And don't forget that you can add on that 4th fast pass after you use your first 3, and then so on and so on. A lot of people don't even do the research to realize that they can do this and take advantage of it. And in general, you're gonna deal with a lot less line waiting if you're just doing the best you can to take advantage of fast passes. Remember that if you're staying on property, you can get them 60 days out. If you're off property, you can get them 30 days out. Mark that on your calendar. Take the time to jump online and get these done. It used to be at midnight, but I think now it's 7 a.m. Eastern. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, to get your fast pass to 60 days out. And you might not be able to get, you know, flight of passage. Let's be real, like nobody gets flight of passage. I mean, somebody does, obviously. I just don't know who. But you should be doing what you can to take the time as early out as possible to get your fast passes. If you wait until the day of, you're going to be disappointed, and you're probably gonna end up getting fast passes for rides that don't really need it, and then you're gonna be waiting in really long lines for the bigger rides that did need it. And then finally, my last trick for avoiding crowds is to schedule your ride time around parades and fireworks. Just saying, if you don't care so much about catching these different shows, utilize that time to get to your ride. And the reason I'm saying that is because everyone else is gonna be looking at 3 o'clock, oh my god, Festival of Fantasy in Magic Kingdom, we need to run over 2:30, get a good spot, and you are gonna run over to Space Mountain, say screw that, and get on Space Mountain in like maybe 40 minutes on a busy season day, and maybe less on a low season day. I love doing this. Don't get me wrong, I love the fireworks, and I like to plan at least one evening or one point in the day where I can catch a certain fireworks show or Festival of Fantasy. But I make sure for that reason that I have more than one day at a lot of the parks so that next time I can choose to go on Splash Mountain during Happily Ever After, which by the way is such an awesome thing to do. Like, a lot of people feel like they need to view the fireworks, you know, front and center, standing there waiting for them. Go on rides during fireworks, go on Splash Mountain during the fireworks, go on Test Track during illuminations, go on the rides that like you're gonna get a quick glimpse view of the show because you get this really cool different perspective and you hear the music and it's super fun. So yeah, definitely go on rides when everyone else is lining up for those shows, fireworks, whatever, because you're gonna get way less of a wait in that window of time while people are scurrying to get their spot to watch whatever show it might be. So those are 5 of my tips of how to avoid crowds, but they're not the only ones. I just think that they are ones that for me have worked pretty consistently. But if you have a tip on how to avoid crowds, whether it's Disney World, Disneyland, or any other Disney park, let me know in the comments below. I would love to know what you do to try to minimize wait times as much as possible and just dealing with a lot of people. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I'm making videos every single week, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching another video. Bye.